Hi, this is Pastor Craig, and I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Ask Pastor Craig. Thank you for joining me this evening. My question this evening is this. I see this world in such great trouble, in need of drastic change. But I don't know how I would ever change the world. I have a lot of trouble just changing myself. Why is change so hard? How can I help to change the world? I appreciate your question. Thank you. And I really understand what you're feeling. I feel what you're feeling. I have things about my life that I'd really like to see change. And certainly there are things in this world that I believe are in desperate need of drastic change. So I understand what you're feeling. And I think you're starting in the right place. If you're going to bring change to this world, you have to bring change to yourself. And so how do we change the world, and how do we change ourselves? I think that it's so many times we think big and we see the big problems in the world and we begin to become overwhelmed by the undertaking. But I don't think big things are changed by big sweeping action. I think they're changed by small, consistent steps in the right direction. Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, made a statement, one that you've probably heard before, and it goes like this: the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And what the philosopher meant was this: a huge undertaking can only be overcome by small, consistent, deliberate action. In the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 10, Jesus said, "He who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much." 2 Corinthians chapter 10 tells us this: we are transformed by the renewing of our mind. And so we have to bring every thought captive and bring it to obedience to Christ. What the Apostle Paul is saying is take every thought captive and bring it into obedience. Small, consistent, deliberate change. It really brings about a huge difference. For years my wife told me, pay attention to the details. The details really do matter. And you know what? She's right about that. It is the small things that make the big differences. I know a lot of times we're told not to sweat the small stuff. I understand the idea behind some of that, but the small things really do make a difference. So how are you going to bring about change? Maybe you make a decision that you're going to read your Bible every single day. Even if it's just a little bit, you're going to read it every single day. It's a small change that makes a big difference. I'm going to pray every single day. It's a small change, but it brings about an enormous difference. I'm going to invite at least one person, just one person every single week. I'm going to invite one person to church. And you think, well, man, just one? Yeah, over a year's time, that's 52 people you've invited to church. By making that one small, deliberate action, you've invited 52 people over a year's time, 52 people to church. Small, deliberate action, consistent action in the right direction brings about enormous change. I want to encourage you today to make a small change in your life. I want to encourage you today to make small, deliberate, consistent actions in the direction of God and see the enormous change that it brings to you and to your family and to your relationships and to your community, to your church, and really even to the entire world. I believe this is a real difference maker in your life today, and I want to encourage you to do that. I'll make a deal with you. I'll do it with you. This week, every one of us listening, we're going to make a small, deliberate, consistent change in our life in the direction of God. And then we're going to testify on Facebook about the difference that it made, the enormous difference that it made. Well, God bless you for listening today. If you have a question about this issue or something completely unrelated, we'd really like to hear from you, and you can do that in one of three ways. You can reach us at this radio program, this great radio program's Facebook page, which is ROR Ministries, which is facebook.com/ROR Ministries. You can reach me at my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Pastor Craig Online, or you can reach me at my church's Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Heartland Christian Center. God bless you for listening today.